News Radio 910 WSBA.
Glad to be with you here on a Friday morning. I'm Gary Sutton. Welcome to the Gary Sutton Show. Start out this morning with Clark Hodges, financial strategist at Hodges Capital. Good morning, Clark. How are you?
I'm good, Gary. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. I had a chance to MC this forum last night for some of the candidates who are running this year in our primary, which comes up on May 20th, and I hope everybody is registered to vote in that. But, I mean, the questions that I raised last night, I think a lot of people are trying to figure out what the game is today, to which we don't seem to be invited many times. And the politicians say, well, Clark, those rules like the Constitution, come on, they were written back in 1770, whatever, and or 1787, and they really aren't, they don't really apply to us now exactly. And that thing in Pennsylvania, that doesn't really apply to you Pennsylvanians. Maybe even the Texas Constitution. You got to think about this now in a more complex way. How do you answer people like that, Clark?
I think it's arrogant to think that we're living in a time where we only have these issues in this time. These issues that are relevant in our country today have been in our country's issues forever in some shape or form. A lot of times you'll be reading stuff or looking at stuff and you'll see a quote and they'll say, when was this quote said?
Right.
And you'll say, oh, that was said last week or this year or 2 years ago. And then they'll give the author of it and they'll say, it was in 1776 or in 1901. And so it just goes to show you that a lot of the issues we have, really, they stay the same. And so I think it's real arrogant to think it's just this time that's different and we need to start changing the way we govern or changing the rules or changing the documents that have gotten our country to where they are. I think it's very arrogant.
Well, I guess what's bothered me about this is we seem to have a thing today where we say, okay, but, in other times, it seemed as though many times the rules that were made reinforced what the people would think. Not all the time, not 100% of the time by any means, but much more so in terms of saying, well, we can't really go against the Constitution today. We have a president and we have an attitude in this country that says, well, we need to fundamentally remake this country because it's not fair. The rich are getting too much wealth. The poor are getting screwed. We've got racism everywhere. We've got all that. And we sit down and say, wait a second. This country's made a lot of progress over the years in a lot of areas, and maybe just to go out there and say, geez, I'm going to remake the whole country, even if it's not within the realm of the Constitution, is somehow okay.
It goes to show you, and I believe, we're all making it up as we go along. And for someone to say we need to change the Constitution or any sort of document like that because of what they're feeling that day, they could have the same viewpoint of changing that document on an opposing feeling 2 years from now.
Great point.
Look at all the contradictions in all these politicians. I mean, you could say President Obama ran on transparency. He's not very transparent. So, I mean, we're all making it up as we go along, and someone's opinion today could be opposed or made to look silly down the road because they changed their opinions overnight on certain issues.
And it talks about the wisdom of our founding fathers who made a process where you could change the Constitution. In fact, 4 different ways. But they basically said, if we're going to do that, then we want to do it in a deliberative fashion that involves not only the Congress, but in many cases the states first. 3/4 of the states have to approve it, 2/3 of the members of Congress. And in some states, you would call, if you got enough states together, you can call for a constitutional convention. So the idea was, you can make changes, but isn't it amazing that over 200 plus years, we've only made like 27 changes to the whole Constitution? That's pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, it's very good foreshadowing that the founding fathers put that in as a system to make changes.
Clark, I wanted to talk about some of the numbers out there right now and about the Constitution a little bit. I know it's not in your state, but it's not too far away from your state. The thing that's going on with Cliven Bundy right now, and this whole federal land and grazing, I know that's a big part of what happens in Texas as well. What are your thoughts on that whole situation right now where the Bureau of Land Management was out there and coming down on Bundy, they've run off there, but now they're trying to do it another way?
He said some things that I disagree with wholeheartedly, and he paints himself into a corner and puts himself in a position of being a fool or a buffoon in some of the comments he's made.
Yep.
At the same time, you understand where he's getting his position, but I don't think he's got a leg to stand on. I mean, to me, rules are rules. Everybody else is following the rules. It's the way the system is. It's just like those people who say, well, there's nowhere in the Constitution that says I have to pay federal income tax. try and see what happens. And so I think I would say he's a borderline extreme racist, and I wouldn't put a lot of faith into what he's doing, and I wouldn't be on his side on any of these situations. But I do think there's so much land out there that maybe this could spark a conversation of some sort of change, but I certainly don't want to come down on his side on anything like that because of what he said.
Well, I think if I were to counsel him, I would say as little as possible. You're not a public speaker. Let your actions speak for themselves. Make your position clear and simple and go from there. Don't be commenting on Negroes. Don't be commenting on all this other stuff. You haven't become the sage philosopher of the country. Rather, deal with your situation. Tell us why you're doing what you're doing and let us make up our minds. A lot of people are there to help him. Fine. I respect that. I do think.
But his comments on people living off the government for free, his animals are living off the government for free. So, I mean, he's a hypocrite in that sense.
Yeah, and again, that's why I'm asking. You're out in that neck of the woods, and you've seen ranchers, and you've seen people that have to go by the rules. As far as the income tax, by the way, that is kind of an addition to the Constitution. That's one of the amendments we talked about, number 16. So we do have to pay income tax based on the 16th Amendment. But originally in the Constitution, those kind of taxes were outlawed. They tried to pass them. The government said, no, you can't do that. The court said, no, you can't do that. So then the Congress said, oh, well, then we'll make a law that says in this one case we can. And they went out and got the 16th Amendment and got that passed through the country.
Right.
Yesterday, jobless claims rose 24,000 to 329,000. We've been dealing around this 350 to 300,000 mark. The week before it had been 304, I think. Do you make anything out of that, Clark? Or again, is that just momentary blips as we go along here in the economy?
I don't make a whole lot out of it. I think when you're in the middle of earnings season like we are, I look more at that and see what corporations are reporting, but more importantly, what corporations are projecting for the next quarter or two or three or four. And I do think these numbers come out and then they're adjusted. They come out and then they're adjusted. So I don't put a lot of faith into a one-time glitch, as you put it, number like that. I look more at corporate earnings.
I looked at a couple numbers today. U.S. durable goods orders rise. Sales of new homes fall 14.5%. But we also have inflation going up. We have gas prices going up. And we have a drought out in your particular neck of the woods out in the western U.S. that's causing people some problems right now. When you take all those things together, what comes out of that for you?
Interest rates going up is the main thing I look at because of its effect on the bond market and its potential effect on the equity market. So that's the number I'm looking at. But I think a lot of people very risk adverse in their investment styles, and we deal with that every day at Hodges Capital. And people who suffered through 08 and 09 and said, I'm just going to put my money in bonds because they're safe and they're secure. But when interest rates go up, they're going to get a look at their statement and they're going to see valuations in their accounts have gone down, and they're going to be surprised by that. So interest rates going up is going to affect a lot of people. It's going to scare a lot of people. And it's going to shift a lot of money around, money from bonds into equities, which I don't mind, but I think it's going to be a shock to a lot of people's system, especially a more conservative, older investor who's got bonds and thinks they're very, very safe.
Clark, one final one, and this is kind of, I would say this could be called the outrage of the week in terms of financial stuff. The IRS in damage control on Tuesday after an audit revealed that it paid bonuses to employees who were in trouble over tax issues themselves. More than $2.8 million plus thousands of hours in paid time off were doled out over 2 years to employees who had recently been disciplined for various types of misconduct. Your thoughts on that?
I think it's hilarious. It just goes to show you how big and overblown and ridiculous our tax system is and how the IRS is. And if you can't govern those under your own roof, how can you expect to have any sort of pull with the rest of the America? And so I think it's funny, personally.
I laugh, but I have tears in my eyes as I'm laughing, I guess, a little bit. That It's this sad, if you don't laugh about it, I guess you'd probably, cry or charge something. So there you go. Clark, great stuff. I know you took some time out of a meeting to be with us this morning. I really appreciate it.
Gary.
And we look forward to next week.
Enjoy being with you. Take care.
Have a great weekend. Take care. Clark Hodges with us. Clark Hodges with us here on the Gary Sutton Show. Was in the middle of a financial meeting this morning and actually took time out to be with us.